Hello, friends. It's the Carnivore Rabbi again. On a beautiful day, we've come together to meet, pray, and love. And I read an interesting statistic last week, and I really didn't believe it, but I saw the numbers and it made sense. Searches for the carnivore diet are now higher than searches for the keto diet. Isn't that incredible? Keto is mainstream. Keto is pretty popular. You can go into most stores and at least find keto products. Now, you can't really find carnivore products in many ways because carnivore is just so simple. But keto has become part of the lexicon around what people eat. And carnivore is getting there as well. So why is that? What is the true reason for the rise in the carnivore diet, or what I like to call the carnivore way of eating and the carnivore way of life? The first factor, the first reason, is that we have become suspicious of modern nutrition authorities. We know that 95% of diets don't work. People just fail at them. And then people regurgitate the same advice, or they change their advice totally. And we don't know who to trust. And the people that are invested with the authority often fail to have any success. It's almost if you were to grade the nutritional authorities over the last 50 years, they would get all Fs. And since we've lost trust in a lot of the authorities on diet and nutrition, we are open to more alternative views. And carnivore certainly goes against the grain. It's a different approach. But we are more open to that because we have seen that the trusted authorities, or who claim to be the trusted ones, the ones invested by the larger culture with that authority, have failed us. The second reason, which is related, is that the internet and social media have democratized access to information, and they've reduced the role of the gatekeepers. Now, the gatekeepers in many industries are the people who decide what's legitimate and what's not. In the publishing industry, for example, the gatekeepers were the editors and the publishers. They decided what books could get published. When you could self-publish a book and sell it on Amazon, the authority of the gatekeepers gets dramatically reduced. And the same is true with diet. When anybody can start a YouTube channel, or write a book, or start a website, or start a group, or start sharing their story, we can find that information. It's searchable. It's out there. What's popular, what gets people's attention, what works. And so when the authority of the gatekeepers declines, the authority of real-world stories grows. And that's extremely powerful. We can hear people like Dante Ferrigno in his story about how he struggled for so long and doctors failed him, and yet he was able to achieve extraordinary success in the lion diet. So the internet's done a lot of harm. As a parent of 2 teenagers, I know that. But in terms of diet and nutrition, it has opened up many doors. It's given us access to lots and lots of great information. And I think that is a tremendous reason why carnivore is continuing to grow. The third reason is the simplicity. The simplicity. That is very attractive to me. We don't want to be counting calories. We don't want to be weighing food. We don't want to be writing down every single thing we eat. Sure, some people can do it. But the simpler a program is, the better chance we have of getting it to work. That's true in everything. So keeping it simple makes it more effective and makes it more attractive. And nothing could be simpler than the carnivore diet. You eat meat and drink water. Is that hard? Fourth reason, and this is a powerful one too, is that it doesn't cost anything. You don't need to go buy a fancy program to learn how to do the carnivore diet. You simply start eating meat. Now, you can sign up for groups, you can join programs, you can read books, and that's fine. That can really help people. You can do consultations, but it's not necessary. It's not critical. It's not a core component of the success. You don't need to sign up for some meal program online. You can just start eating meat. You might say meat's very expensive, and that's true, but I can tell you, as will most longtime carnivores, it's cheaper in the long run than the standard American diet by a lot. But This is one of the reasons why a lot of mainstream nutrition authorities haven't embraced the carnivore diet, because they wouldn't make any money off of it. It doesn't cost anything. It's so simple and so clear. The economic freedom that carnivore provides is another reason. Fifth reason, and probably the most important one, is that it works. It works. Just talk to people, listen to the stories of those who have addressed autoimmune illnesses with the carnivore diet, who've lost a tremendous amount of weight, who simply feel so much better and are healthier and happier, more content, have been able to reduce the number of medications they take. Just listen to the stories. I know they're anecdotal, and some people think anecdotal evidence is not important. But when the anecdotal evidence piles on, and story after story, look at my friend Dave Mack and the number of interviews, it seems like he has 3 or 4 new interviews every day. That is the best evidence. That is the best explanation for why carnivore continues to grow, because it works. And that ultimately is the greatest test of any theory, any philosophy, any nutrition program. Does it work? And the evidence, at least right now, suggests that it does. And why does it work? That's a more complicated question. That's something that Dr. Chafee can really answer. But I continue to believe, and I'll be talking about this in a video in the upcoming days, is that it works because it roots us in nature. It closely reflects how we were designed or how we evolved. That's a matter of faith, and you can take either approach. But it reflects who we are, how we're constructed. I imagine many of you already know this, but it's always good to understand why carnivore continues to work and why this movement, which is not supported by any mainstream large authority, it's a ground up, it's a grassroots movement, why it continues to grow. And we're all a part of that. That's why I started this channel, because it works and because we need all the reinforcement and inspiration we can get. See you next time.